What's up, curious youngsters? If we're always wasting time doing useless things or watching millions of videos, ending up with those weird YouTube recommendations, why not take a few minutes for senior curiosity learning instead? 30 totally epic facts that you'll forget in about 10 minutes. But these aren't just any facts, they're gonna leave you completely amazed. For this and much more, these are 30 things you didn't know 5 minutes ago. 1. If you thought that sandy deserts could only be found in extremely hot places, then you're wrong. In Alaska's Kobuk Valley, there are sand dunes reaching 50 meters high. 2. If you've read toothpaste ingredients, you've likely seen fluoride, something that is toxic in large amounts but helps us prevent cavities and strengthen our teeth. Okay, so what's the curious part, Mr. Curiosity? Well, it turns out that shark teeth are made up of a large amount of fluoride, which explains their incredible strength and resistance. They also don't get cavities. Imagine a shark at the dentist. Johnny 3? Surely when we hear about Australia, we think of beaches, kangaroos, and koalas, but I'm sure no one ever thought of a camel. That's because you hadn't seen this video. Australia has 10 times more camels than koalas. 4. If you think Hitler was history's worst person, you may not know about Genghis Khan, the Mongolian conqueror who built the largest empire ever, which cost the lives of more than 40 million people who opposed the empire. He was a true villain. Hengis 5. Antarctica is the world's largest desert with an extremely dry and inhospitable climate. After conducting analysis, a group of scientists determined that in several areas, it neither rains nor snows for at least 2 million years. 6. When we see most animals through a screen, we don't really grasp how big they are. And did you know that, for example, polar bears are the largest land predators that exist? Standing on their hind legs, they can grow up to 3 meters tall. So much for wanting a cuddly little bear. Here's your little darling 7. If you thought your kitten was the world's biggest, you were mistaken. Guinness records are apparently quite random and bizarre. We came across the biggest cat in the world, Omar, who is an Australian domestic cat. He weighs up to 14 kilos and measures more than 1 meter and 20 centimeters with his legs stretched out. 8. One of the things we often hear is that cockroaches can survive a nuclear bomb, but that's not entirely true. Cockroaches, like everything else, will burn if an atomic bomb explodes nearby. But what is true is that cockroaches can withstand 15 times the radiation that humans can. So just like in Chernobyl, are these devilish insects going to survive the high radiation of an atomic bomb without any problem? 9. Cuba is one of the world's most curious countries after North Korea. It may seem closed off, but it reveals itself as surprisingly friendly. When we find out that all government vehicles are required to pick up anyone hitchhiking on the street, that's great, Mr. Cubano. If you have lots of clothes but still can't decide what to wear to an event, maybe you're missing the world's oldest dress in your wardrobe. This is a well-preserved dress from Egypt that's at least 5,000 years old. And you're worried about moths ruining your clothes? 11. Tigers are one of the cutest animals in the world when they are young. Because when they're adults, they're simply machines you wouldn't want to face in the wild. Their claws can grow up to 8 centimeters, and during an attack, they can slice you like jelly. So be careful. Wazowski, be careful, 12. There are over 1.3 billion Indians, as we know. Apparently, they also have a strong addiction to gold, with women in India holding 11% of the world's gold. And that's more than the reserves that many countries have, like Switzerland and Germany combined. 13. In a video, we discussed how Albert Einstein's brain was stolen after his death. Another odd thing is they also removed his eyes, and these are kept in a safe in New York. But how horrible. 14. You should never go to jail, but if you ever end up in a German prison, stay calm. Escaping prison break style won't get you extra punishment. This country claims seeking freedom is a basic instinct. 15. Don't swallow the seed, or a plant will grow in you, okay? We've probably all heard this before. But imagine the seed you're about to swallow is the world's largest, weighing at least 17 kilos. Yeah, cue the shocked owl. This is what the seed of the Coco de Mer palm looks like. If you're interested in space and astronauts, you might already know this. But did you know that astronauts from several expeditions trained in Iceland because it was believed to be the terrain most similar to the moon? 17.7. In totally useless but terribly epic facts, we found that the first webcam connected to a computer was invented at the University of Cambridge. The goal was to monitor a simple coffee maker from anywhere. Clearly, coffee in Cambridge was important. 18. Dubai is known for its extreme luxury, including having the world's most luxurious police cars. But Italy didn't want to be left behind and went ahead and put Mr. Lamborghini Gallardo at the service of the police. Most of the time, they're just there for photos. 19. Elvis Presley was one of America's most famous singers. But I'm sure you'll be shocked when I tell you that he never wrote any of the songs he sang. He didn't always use writers and often used his own voice like many artists. Many people think otherwise. McDonald's is not the largest fast food chain in the world, since Subway and the sandwich chain have more locations. Branches worldwide exceed 40,000. 21. In the 21st century, technology is part of daily life. And what if every time you wake up, you look at your phone? Every time you go to sleep, you look at your phone. And you're always checking to see if you have any notifications. You might have nomophobia. Apparently, there's a phobia for not being able to live without your phone. 22. Although some believe the United States never reached the moon, let's assume they did. One of the astronauts' first actions on extraterrestrial soil was planting United States flags. Well, but the interesting thing is that due to the intense radiation from the sun and the little protection the moon has, the flags today would be completely white. Did you consider the radiation? National Aeronautics and Space Administration. 23. I can't tell if they have too much free time or just dislike life on Earth. But you have to know that more than 100,000 people have applied over the past few years to be part of the crew that will colonize planet Mars. In 2024, New Zealand is known for having one of the most feared rugby teams in the world, but also for being a pretty peaceful country that doesn't bother anyone, just like Australia. The official page shows that New Zealand's official languages include English, Maori, and New Zealand Sign Language. Well thought out, Mr. New Zealander 25, in terribly useless but clearly curious facts. We find that one of the reasons why the World Wildlife Fund has a panda as its logo is precisely to save ink when printing its logo anywhere. 26. Cigarettes are harmful to our bodies. But who would have thought that just by breathing the air in Beijing, China for one day, we would be harming our bodies as much as if we smoked 21 cigarettes in a day? Damn, China, you are very polluted. 27. The Amazon rainforest is famous for its environmental importance. But you probably didn't know that the name Amazon comes from the Amazons, a race of warrior women from Greek mythology. We can assume that in many area tribes, women fought with men in several battles. 28. Each time we seem closer to living on our planet or in space. And some good news backs this idea. The thing is, in August of 2015, astronauts on the International Space Station ate lettuce grown in space for the first time. I bet space lettuce has barely any flavor. 29. Do we really need sunscreen every time we go to the beach? Since apparently not only do humans protect themselves from the sun, but also other animals, like elephants. They cover themselves with sand to avoid sunburn. If I had lots of money, my house would be packed with useless but incredibly satisfying things. For example, this glitch furniture is crafted by carpenters who treat the wood in a unique way. It ends up looking like a glitch in the Matrix. Before I go, let me say hello to a few subscribers that I wasn't able to greet in the previous video. Huge thanks to Brian Mendoza Paredes, a channel fan. A big shout out to Dragnet Nunez, who wanted a greeting. Also, another big shout out to Oswaldo Jaramillo Solorio. Another greeting to Sabiel Vasquez, who also wanted a shout out from Senior Curiosity. Another big shout out to Jefferson Jimenez, always active in recent videos. Next, another really big shout out to Dulce Lopez Pacheco, who is new to the channel. Big welcome to Carlos Gael Antonia Lopez, who joined the channel on a friend's recommendation. I'm really happy. Finally, a huge shout out to Carlos Daniel Carrera. Big thanks to Gabby and her mother, Gabriela Caracunga, for always watching Senior Curiosity videos. And the last shout out goes to Tomiz Okiezian, who had his birthday a couple of days ago. Now, just so you know, I read and reply to every single comment, but I can't give a shout out to everyone. I hope you liked it. Comment anything, really anything you want. Share the video and the channel with your friends. So, more kisses here on Senior Curiosity. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any new videos. I'm Alcino Crua City.